Let's play spot the difference. This is the same pattern, the same gauge, the same needles, the same yarn brand. The only difference is one has been blocked and the other hasn't. This is part 2 on how to block your knitting. If you haven't seen part 1, it covers all the equipment you'll need and why you might want to block your work. And this video is going to cover how to block your work. Once you've gathered all of your blocking equipment together, fill a sink partly full of some warm water. Not too hot, but not freezing cold either. And then add in a little bit of your detergent. Agitate the water to make sure it's nice and bubbly, and then you can add in your knitting. This is the detergent that I use, by the way, and I really recommend it. Let's have a quick look at what my squares looked like before I put them in. Generally, the tension's looking a bit uneven and the edges are rolling in to varying extents. I'm starting off by fully submerging my knitting in the water, so pushing it under so that all of the fibres are completely soaked. Not applying any pressure to the squares because I don't want them to felt together. I let them soak for about 10 minutes, and then once I've done that, I'm just swishing them around, giving them a very quick rinse with cool water, flicking out any excess water and then putting them into a colander. Once they've dripped a little bit and they're not sopping wet, I then lay them onto a clean tea towel, fold the edges in, roll it up and squeeze gently to help remove a bit more water. You could use 2 big towels if you had a bigger item, but it's really important you don't squeeze too hard when you're doing this. As you can see from this coffee filter, there's still some moisture in the knitting. To start the blocking process, I start by pinning out the 4 corners, so 1 pin in each corner, and these blocking mats that have the grid on them really help with this. Once I've got pins in all 4 corners, I then go in and start adding more pins around the perimeter of the square. I try and keep it even and pin the middle of each edge first so that I don't end up with a distorted square. One piece of kit that you can buy specifically for knitting are these blocking combs, and they are really handy because it saves so much time. Just look how quick that is. And you can get mini ones too. This square here has some kind of gaps where the intarsia hasn't been done particularly well, so I'd like to rearrange the stitches with the tip of a pin and then use either a comb or a pin to help block them out and encourage the stitches to dry a bit closer together. The reason you don't want your knitting to be completely dry when you start blocking is that, a little bit like when you're styling hair, when you want knitting to set in a particular shape, you either do that by applying heat or by making it wet and then drying it in a certain shape. I like to speed up the drying process by putting mine in the heated area if I'm doing lots of blocks, and then remove all the pins, and as you can see, the knitting is just looking so much more consistent and neat. I hope this video has been useful and you give blocking a go if you haven't already. Let me know if there's any other videos on colour work that you would like to see, as I'm trying to keep these coming out regularly. It's a bit of a challenge. And if you like any of the patterns that you've seen within this video, just comment RAV, R-A-V, and I'll send you a link to all of my patterns on Ravelry. Bye!